Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a problem I think we all have, taming the absolute chaos of our digital lives. Just think about it for a second. All of your photos, your work files, those creative projects you've poured your heart into, it's all digital now. And if you're anything like me, it's probably scattered all over the place. So I'll ask you directly, where does it all live? Is it on your laptop's hard drive, maybe spread across 3 different cloud services? Or is it on that stack of dusty external drives you swear you'll organize one day? It's a total mess, right? And that leaves our most important stuff fragmented and just all over. And that right there is the real issue. Because when your data is scattered, it's not just messy, it's vulnerable. Vulnerable to a hard drive suddenly dying, to an accidental click of the delete button, or even to something nasty like ransomware. What we need is one central, super secure and powerful place to manage it all, a way to build our very own private cloud. So how do we actually fix this? Well, let's bring in the hero of our story today, TrueNAS. This is a seriously powerful piece of software that's built to solve this exact problem, letting you turn pretty much any old computer into your own professional-grade storage server. Now, TrueNAS didn't just pop up out of nowhere. Its story actually starts way back in 2005 with a project called FreeNAS. It grew and matured for years, and then in 2022, there was a huge shift with the release of TrueNAS Scale, a brand new Linux-based version that, as you can see, is set to become the future of the whole platform. This long history means it's a battle-tested, super mature system, not just some new app with a bunch of bugs. So, what is it exactly? Well, TrueNAS is an operating system, kind of like Windows or Mac OS, but it's laser-focused on one thing: storing and protecting your data. The really important words here are open source, which means it's totally free, and OpenZFS. Honestly, OpenZFS is the secret sauce. It's a file system built from the ground up to prevent data corruption. That silent killer of files that your normal computer's operating system doesn't really protect you from. Okay, so if you're ready to jump in, you're going to face one big choice right at the start. This is where your journey really begins, and it's picking between the two main flavors of TrueNAS, Core and Scale. And the biggest difference between them comes down to their foundations. TrueNAS Core is the original, and it's built on FreeSD, an operating system that is absolutely legendary for its rock-solid stability. Scale, on the other hand, is the newcomer. It's built on Debian Linux, and that makes it way more modern, lets it work with a ton more hardware, and most importantly, gives it access to a huge world of applications. The community around TrueNAS is, let's say, passionate. And this quote from Reddit really sums up the argument for Core. For a lot of the longtime users, the unbeatable set-it-and-forget-it stability of Core is everything. It's seen as the gold standard for pure, bulletproof data storage. But, of course, there's another side to that debate, and they argue just as hard. This user makes the point that if you want your NAS to be more than just a box that holds files, if you want to run apps, virtual machines, the whole shebang, then Scale is the obvious winner. Its Linux core and Docker support just blow the doors wide open for possibilities that Core can't touch. Okay, but what about performance? Let's look at the numbers. These benchmarks show a real tug of war. For moving big files around, you can see Core sometimes has a slight edge. But then look at the random performance, the kind of small, fast operations that apps and virtual machines need. In those cases, Scale often pulls way ahead. So the real takeaway here isn't that one is just faster. It proves the point. The choice isn't about raw speed. It's about what you want to do. Are you all about absolute stability, or do you want to unlock a world of features? All right, so you've made your choice. And let's be honest, you're probably leaning towards Scale, since that's where everything is headed. So how do you actually get this thing up and running? Let's break it down and build our very own data fortress. It really just boils down to 3 main steps. First, you're going to create a pool. This is the foundation of your fortress, where you group all your hard drives together. Second, you create data sets, which are like the different rooms and folders inside the fortress. And third, you create shares, which are basically the doors that let you and others access the data over your network. Creating that storage pool is your first and most important job. This is where you tell TrueNAS which hard drives to use and, crucially, how you want your data protected. You can set up a simple mirror where two drives have identical copies, or something more advanced like RAID Z, which can keep all your data safe even if one of the drives completely fails. So once that pool is built, you start creating datasets and shares to get everything organized and locked down. Using something called access control lists, or ACLs, you get this amazing granular control. You can decide exactly who gets to see what, who can read files, and who can write new ones. It's just like handing out specific keys to different rooms in your fortress. Okay, so we've built a solid storage server. It's organized, it's secure. But now we get to the part where TrueNAS and its ZFS file system reveal their true superpower, protecting your data in ways you probably never thought possible. This is where the real magic happens. And the cornerstone of all this magic is something called a snapshot. The best way to think about it is like a perfect, instantaneous time machine for your data. It captures the exact state of your files at a specific moment. And the crazy part is, it's not a full backup, so it takes up almost no extra space at first. But it gives you the incredible power to just roll back time. So what does this look like when things go wrong? Well, imagine you accidentally delete an important file. Poof, it's gone. Panic sets in. But wait. Because you have snapshots running automatically, you can just go into Windows, right-click the folder, go to previous versions, and there it is, a copy from an hour ago, just sitting there ready to be restored. It is an absolute lifesaver. And snapshots are just one piece of a much bigger defense plan. You can set up automatic scrub tasks that regularly scan your drives for that silent data corruption I mentioned. You schedule those hourly, daily, and weekly snapshots to create your safety nets. Then you can even replicate those snapshots to a whole other TrueNAS box, maybe at a friend's house, or use Cloud Sync to back them up to a service like Backblaze. It's a true multi-layered fortress. So we've built this incredibly tough, self-healing data fortress. And you might think, okay, that's amazing, story's over. But on TrueNAS scale, this is where things get really interesting. This is just the beginning. Because Scale is built on Linux, it can run apps using Docker. And that means your NAS doesn't just have to be a NAS. It can also be your own personal Netflix with Jellyfin or Plex, your network-wide ad blocker using Pi-hole, or even the entire brain of your smart home with Home Assistant, all running on the same machine. And all of this leads us to the ultimate concept, something that is truly mind-bending when you first see it. With apps and virtualization, a single TrueNAS server can become your own private data center in a box. And this is the ultimate power move. You can actually run a second virtual TrueNAS server inside your main one. Think of it like a secret, sealed vault built inside your fortress. This little virtual server is only connected through a private internal network, so it's completely invisible to the outside world. This creates a virtual air gap. You can send your most critical backups to this vault, and it makes them almost impossible for a ransomware attack to ever find or encrypt. And you can do it all without buying a second physical computer. It's incredible. And really, that's the true potential of TrueNAS. It's not just about getting your files organized. It's about giving you the tools to take back complete control of your digital world and build something that's powerful, secure, and uniquely yours. So the final question isn't just a fantasy. It's a real possibility. What if you could build your own private, indestructible cloud? With TrueNAS, you actually can.